Good day to you. This is John Mack here. I wanted to talk about changing your reality. Is that possible for you to switch into another reality where things are different for you, where things change in a way that you can have more of what you want, actually, and new people will come into your life, and maybe you will end up in a different place to live with a different kind of job. Maybe you finally quit your job and get rid of all the stuff you don't want to have in your life, and start to create what you do want. I'm sitting here at a beautiful hotel in Chiang Mai, Medici Hotel. They have a really nice outdoor coffee shop, and everybody is taking a photo about, everywhere. But it's a very peaceful place. This is a reality I step into when I want to read or write, and I find so much peace here. So it's a good place to be. So my name is John Mack, if you haven't heard my name before, and what I do is basically teaching and upgrading people how to step out of reality's norms. Everything that society expects you to do. The typical norms of society would be go to school, go through the shitty educational system, get a job, make a living, or try to make a living and survive, and do what most people expect. I'm not into that. I left that many years ago. That's why I have the freedom that I have now, and can do the work that I want to do and love to do. And so many people now want to break out of that, especially I think when it comes to education and having a job. But a typical trait for a lot of people we call it wake up, is to struggle with what people around them expect, especially friends and family. It's a big challenge for people, because when you start to think outside of the box and outside of the typical norms, people will start to talk crap about you and your plans and your visions and everything, and you feel that you are maybe the black sheep of the family, and you feel that you don't fit in. The typical sources of information and entertainment is not something for you anymore. The usual places that you normally go to, it does not feel right anymore. Friends and family just don't fit in with your reality anymore, and you can start to become lonely. So what the hell do you do? Well, first of all, you should not give in to the pressure of anyone. You should be your unique self and follow your urge to grow and step into your own reality and create it the way you want. So how can you change that reality? So in this video, I wanted to just talk about a few things that I have discovered. I've been into a lot of things when it comes to spiritual and metaphysical topics, because I want to know how things work, and I want to know how I can control my reality and shape it and upgrade my mind and my body and be spiritually connected, because that's what we are. So if you ignore that, there's nothing you have to do, but if you ignore that, you ignore the biggest part of you, which will reflect your physical reality, right? So one thing I wanted to mention is that I've been surprised the last 2 months actually how much information there already is and have been for a long time. And there's so many, it's so easy to find information now to upgrade your mind, and I have been doing an insane mindset rewrite just the last 2 months because I had to and I wanted to. Since summer this year, I started to get into another wave of having a craving for getting into metaphysical topics and more spiritual connection. One of them I've been channeling, that I've been attracted to for many years. So I've been reading about that and learning more about that. I've been having some very fucking sad, dramatic shifts in my reality. Losing probably my most important connection that I love very much. And different people also just changing. It's part of a reality shift. But it also pushed me into accelerate more of what I wanted to know more about. So I'm, like I said on a talk here, I'm in Thailand, in Chiang Mai, and what I said on a talk at an event last night that I did to the crowd, we were 3 people sharing our stories for 2020. I told them I'm a hard mother bitch to hold down, so I find my ways of getting strong again. I have 17 years in martial arts, so I use that as one of my methods. I do meditation. I eat pretty well, I think. Overall, I have gained even more strength the last 2 months. But I have to say, which this video is mostly about, that I'm amazed about how much I've been able to rewrite my mind the last 2 months. So, one thing I wanted to mention is there are so many sources on YouTube you can watch to learn how to think and feel your way into a new reality. But you have to expect to open your mind, because this will be in a way that is not common. This is information that's been around for years, forever, basically. But I was surprised to see that there's a lot of very famous authors from the United States that, with information that came out and was super popular already back in the 1900s. And yeah, you know, there's always been bright minds that have been talking about these things. One of them I'm thinking about is Neville Goddard. That's really well known for his talks about imagining your future into reality, and the techniques to how to do that. And there's a bunch of people on YouTube talking about this, so that's one you should look into, one author you should look into. One book I also want to mention now about changing your reality is a concept coming from the Russian author, which is pretty modern and new, I would say. I can't remember now. It's just a few years old. It's the concept of reality transurfing. That's the concept, reality transurfing. Search that on YouTube, or search it online, and you will find information about it. So I'm reading one of his books. It's a fat book. It's over 800 pages, but it's written by a genius. That author is a genius, and it's so detailed, going into, you know, everything that has to do with how we think and create and manifest our reality. It's rare that I'm surprised about a book, but this is so detailed, and it should be a must read for everyone going to school even. But this is probably information, you know, that won't come out in a while as school material. But it should have been, because everybody, humans in general, would have so much more control of their self, their mind, their hearts, in how they created their reality. So that's basically what's been the source for change for my part. Just the last 2 months, when I decided to do an upgrade. And I have turned out to be so peaceful in my body and my mind. And now I just kind of want more information. So look into reality transurfing. It's become a super popular concept and way of life for a lot of people. It's been changing a lot of people's life. The book is translated, as far as I remember, to over 30 languages. There are coaches around the world teaching this concept of reality transurfing. And it's a mindset rewrite to understand life in a totally different way for yourself. How you think and act and feel, how you relate to your mind and your heart, and how to connect it to create the reality that you want by imagining the future timeline that you want. So this is what I'm talking about now. It's basically to jump timelines, get into another reality timeline. And you have a lot more control than you think. So consider the year that we are ending today. Today is the 31st of December, 2020. It's been an insane year for a lot of people. I've had a good time. I'm not really into the pandemic hysteria at all. I'm not affected, I'm not infected, I'm not going to be infected by anything. I'm not even affected by the pandemic, which is the fear pandemic, which is basically what it's all about. It's a fear pandemic. It's pretty funny actually. They talk about this virus, but the effect on the body is the stress coming from the fear. That's when people get sick. So, but you can step out of that reality completely if you want to ignore it and focus on your own well-being. Start to upgrade your mind instead of fucking up your mind by watching the news and listen to people's fears, because that will become your reality, and I'm sure you have experienced that already. So if you feel that 2020 has sucked vacuum in space and being shitty, make up your damn mind today that in 2021 you will step into a completely different reality, and you will decide how it's going to be. And just know that you have to open your mind. You have to think like that magic is possible almost. You have to get into that. And decide to look away from the madness of society, which will probably have you need to leave some people out because they want to stick around in that reality. People, get stuck because they think that what they see, that's the only reality. But that's where you have to drop off, because that's not true. So also combine this and consider what now scientists are talking about, and finally starting to understand that multiple realities is the only explanation for what they have discovered so far. Parallel realities. It's finally coming. So consider that and rewrite your mindset. Look into how to manifest your life by imagination by Neville Goddard. Just to give you two simple sources. And look into the concept of reality transurfing. Search it up and you will find information. So I think that's enough for today's video. Questions? I love them. Send them over and I will reply to you. Stay well, Happy New Year, and let's transition into a completely different reality in 2021. Stay well.